Hi guys. It's been a couple of days, and I thought that I would give you a little bit of a status update. This is also going up on my Red app channel, so it's supposed to basically give a little bit of a life update because some shit happened. So, for context, because it's kind of important for this, a week ago, my mom ended up falling and fracturing her femur, and she had to have a partial hip replacement on last Wednesday. And everything went well. Everything's fine with that. However, they discovered that she had an upper urinary tract infection that had almost gone septic, which was the reason why she was falling over. And it had been there for a while, so we don't quite know exactly when she managed to become infected with it, but it had been there long enough that it was about to become septic, so that's fun. She hasn't been up, and she hasn't been moving around, so I'm hoping that ends up getting fixed soon, and the physical therapist at the hospital is able to get her up and moving. Her muscles in her legs aren't as strong as they used to be because she hasn't been moving around as much as she had used to be over the course of the last year due to, fatigue and weakness and stuff like that. She's not eating as much as we would like her to. I'm suspecting that's partially because of some dietary issues that she's had over the last 10 plus years. And so I'm hoping that changes so that way, she's able to regain her strength. As one might imagine, all of this is incredibly stressful. And on Saturday, it caught up to my dad. And my dad ended up, we don't know exactly what happened. We're thinking that it's a combination of stress, him not really taking care of himself, and he's got diabetes, and his blood sugar spiked, and he was extremely dehydrated and extremely stressed, and he probably wasn't taking the medication he should be taking, and he ended up falling down some stairs and banged up his knee and severely sprained his ankle and dropped a soup can on his foot. He doesn't remember how any of this happened because the last thing he remembered was he was downstairs watching television. He doesn't even remember going upstairs. He doesn't know why he went upstairs. He doesn't know why he had a soup can in his hand. But his entire foot looks like it's been painted with purple camouflage. And his knee looks like he took a 90-mile-per-hour baseball straight to it. Note, this is also the same knee that he had replaced several years ago, so there was a lot of concern. Because of this fatigue, because of the dehydration, and because of the blood sugar spike, and extra stress, it all caught up to him and ended up causing him to have stroke-like symptoms. So that's fun, because that meant that he was essentially suffering from symptoms like, he didn't have numbness in his arm, but he did have weakness, and he didn't have numbness in his face, but he was having slurred speech, and he was completely incoherent, and he was visiting my mom while this was happening, and so they just took him down to the emergency room and did a full scan on him, and they determined that he was overall incredibly healthy for a 72-year-old, but he was extremely dehydrated. He was so dehydrated, in fact, that they actually hooked him up to 2 IVs and got, him back up on his feet. As one can imagine, none of this has been very fun. Because of that, I had to skip on my normal release schedule over on the Red app in order to, focus on my family. I was really looking forward to trying to do some reactions over there, but it just didn't happen. I was looking forward to doing a few extra commentary things here on TikTok. That didn't happen, and all of this has just been one massive snowball of a shitstorm, and it's not quite done yet because, my mom is still in the hospital. she's probably going to have to go to a rehab center, which I'm really hoping they do. I'm hoping they don't just send her home. And then, of course, the financial aspect of it, because my parents aren't in the best financial standing at the moment because my mom lost her job and my dad is retired. And so they're basically just living off of my dad's retirement. And now they've got a bunch of hospital bills that they're going to have to worry about, as well as everything else that they normally have to pay for. And they're not entirely sure how they're going to manage it. Right now, the important part is that, we just need to get my mom out of the hospital and focused on healing and recovering. But, like, I am not in my right state of mind right now because I'm just so concerned about what's going to happen next and what's the next course of action. But for those who have been wondering what's been going on, based on my somewhat cryptic messages over on the X app and Threads and the Red app, that's what's going on, is that I've just been overwhelmed and extremely stressed out with everything that's been going on with my parents. And while everything seems to be on the mend, we're not out of the woods yet, and I'm still very stressed and very concerned. And yeah, but yeah, that's basically what's been going on. I know that it sucks not being able to create the content that I want to create, but I'm just not the right mindset for it right now. And there are several things that I want to talk about. There's several things that I want to, bring you guys when it comes like skits and stuff like that. And I can't focus on that right now. So yeah, but that's what's been going on. So I'm sorry that I may have disappointed some of you guys with lack of content. But it will be coming back soon. I needed to focus on my family for a little bit, and I'm sure that many of you understood, but at the same time, I don't like just disappearing, so I wanted to give you this update. So yeah, that's what's been going on. Hopefully things get better soon.